Hello, everyone. Happy Wednesday. This is Simon with AvaTrade, and I welcome every one of you to our webinar. Special welcome to the new people. I can see some new faces. Special welcome to you guys. The webinar called Interactive Trading Conversations. So I'll explain in a moment what we're going to do there. I'm an account manager, senior account manager at AvaTrade. I started my trading career as a prop trader back in New York City. June of 2000 by changing career, and since then I'm really excited by trading. It never goes away. And so I did prop trading for about 11 years, and then I moved on into a different way of trading and also started to mentor and educate others. And currently I'm very happy, I have a great opportunity to assist our customers. So that's a few things about myself. The agenda of the webinar, as usual, we ask questions and we do it by typing the way you confirm here that you could hear me and see the presentation. You think of a question of a specific asset, specific market. It could be specific company shares. It could be specific commodity, gold, oil, others. It could be a specific currency pair or index. Anything you'd like to speak about, type your question. Also, if you're asking about anything, you can also write your opinion about it. Let's say an example, what about gold? And you write also a small, maybe sentence there. I think gold go higher, or I think the gold goes lower, or I'm not sure, whatever it is. So we'll make it. I'll read the questions. We'll try to analyze things together. We'll take a look at the chart. As I said, I follow a lot of markets, and if I know any specifics as far as fundamentals, I'll be happy to share with you. Of course, it's all public information. Okay, so we'll do it together. Risk warning, you can find a full statement at avatrade.com. And of course, everything we do here, it's purely educational. We do not suggest any trades. Social media, I highly recommend for you guys to follow us. You have Telegram, you have X. By the way, the CEO of Telegram is still under arrest in France. I wonder how it's going to work out. And X, which used to be Twitter until Elon Musk bought it. And YouTube as my favorite. You can see a lot of information there being added on a regular basis. That includes tutorials, education material, and very important, the webinars are being recorded and posted as well, so if you ever miss one. And that brings me to a thought. As I always say, do not be shy. Ask your questions here, because people that are watching or will be watching it on YouTube, they have no ability to ask questions. They're passive watchers. They not participate. And what we do here, it's totally live, and you have ability to ask the questions, think about other people that will benefit from this as well. Okay. All right. I guess we can move on. I'm going to bring the trading platform, and we'll start with questions. I see already questions are in. Great. Let's, again, very important for me to mention, we have up to an hour. Sometimes I'm pulling teeth when people are not typing questions, and I hate to close the webinar before time. It happens sometimes. So I hope that we'll go exactly up to an hour, use up the whole time, okay? So don't be shy. You can ask multiple questions. Make sure those questions are something that you'd like to learn about. Okay. Ivan is typing, I really like AvaTrade platform, but I'm frustrated by the fact that I can only see something like 250 companies on the NICE, and I'm aware that there are something like 2,000. My question, when and maybe never will the companies become available to trade on the NICE? Good question, and I'm very sorry that you have frustration. First of all, MT4 has fewer instruments. MT5 has more, but we're still. You see, first of all, you're trading CFDs. So I don't know if there any broker that offers you all the stocks within CFDs. It's a process. It's all legality, regulations, and so on. On the MT5 platform, if you have an MT5 account, you should be having a lot of instruments. Of course, not all of them. It's about 8,000 stocks between NASDAQ and the New York Stock Exchange in the US and other exchanges there, right? OTC and so on. So we cannot have all of them. So we constantly adding more. If you anything specific that you think is important, communicate with your account managers. They can communicate with dealers, and we might be able to work it out. Okay. Good question. A little bit not on the topic, but I'm happy I clarified that to you. Eric, thank you for your question. Can we start again with oil as it went up this week? Perhaps Middle East war worry. Now it went back a bit. Of course, oil is one of the most traded instruments, and I'm probably going to say the same thing, but we do have new people here, so they won't be bored with me saying the same thing. But the oil, as I said, any market is being driven by. I paused it because Ivan is writing also there. So as any market is being driven by supply and demand, right? So demand, it's been drying up with China, as I said, and I'll be saying the same thing. China is having a hard time. We couldn't break the 200 moving average. Take a look, the 50-day moving average breaking lower. So there's a fear of demand, not just of China, but in general. Today also the market is selling, right? It has been a fear of recession that kind of moved away, but I don't think it's clear. It's still cloudy out there. So that's as far as demand, right? We don't have the strongest demand, and of course, you're absolutely right with the Middle East. It's very shaky there. Sometimes there's fear coming in when Iran's supposed to bomb Israel. Thank God it didn't happen yet. Hope it never happens, right? So then it cooled down. The companies, the airline companies, some of them or most of them resumed flights to Israel and to Middle East. So then it was fear again with the Lebanon when the 100 planes bombed Lebanon rockets that were ready to shoot on the central and in general in Israel. So things got hot again. Oil went up again. Now it's cooling down with the market and with China. So at least, again, we know the reasons, right? Again, on the whatever it is, we have the interest rate decision by Powell on the 18th of September. Again, it depends. It's going to be a cut, right? But the question is now, is it going to be 0.5 or 0.25? The cut. And today I read some articles that if it's going to be a double, which is 0.5, the market could actually shake a little bit. And if it's 0.25, we should be fine. Again, those are the analysts saying it, not me. So again, if demand doesn't improve, we could continue to take a look. We've been really clearly having a downtrend in general, right? And here locally, we're having a downtrend is holding. You see right here, starting with this double top around here on the 18th of July. This is daily chart, right? We went lower. So at the same time, we're holding the lows, right? This double bottom is holding around 71, 71 and a half. So unless we break from this trend line, downtrend line, we might go and retest these things. And if you look at the monthly chart, we had the run. Important that I mention all the time. You need to get used to really zooming out and seeing what's happening. But this huge run on oil, if you remember with the pandemic when it was to zero or below zero, I always say I still don't comprehend that, how it can go below, but I understand the logic. I just can't accept it. Anyway, we went from that drop to all the way to 130 in March of 2022. And then we cool down and take a look. We've been trading below this 77. That was kind of a retest, or not the retest, but the resistance here in 2018, right? And the weekly chart, also you can see clearly there's a downtrend. And the daily, we clearly have some levels around here, right? The immediate support, something that we tested twice already. The lowest point was on 21st, a week ago exactly, 71.50, 45, but a little bit below 71.5, right? And the top is 77, to be precise, 77.58, right? The moving average is low, 50 is below 200, something they call dead cross. So there's a downside pressure here, right? Great question. Thank you, Eric, for the oil question. So Ivan is writing, I have only been using the AvaTrade app. I mean, you could, if you're using AvaTrade app, you might have an MT5 in an account. It's either MT4 or MT5, so double check. And if you have MT4, you can open an MT5 account, Ivan, and also you can use the web trader for that, or you can use the MT5. All right, guys, please make everyone happy and ask questions. We're trying on questions here. I don't have any. So like I said, we do need to ask questions. As I always say, I don't fake questions. I could have said, that Joe Smith asked this question and Joe Doe asked that question and keep on going, faking it. But it's not me. So I need your real questions. I'll be happy to give you real answers. We can discuss together and everybody can benefit. We are about 13 minutes into the webinar. We still have a lot of time. Let's fill it with questions. Okay, I'll give you a minute. Great. Ivan is asking, can you share some views on gold price earlier this week? Yes, guys, also let's, the purpose of it's really a round table. It means everybody could participate. If anybody would like to write anything about gold, I know, Eric, you have something to say about gold. So write things, I'm going to read it. So it's going to be fun and everybody will feel they will take part of this. Okay, so even gold, 10-year yields, you have to watch, as I always say, the 10-year yields are affecting the gold. Sometimes it's direct, sometimes it's a little bit less. So when the yields went up, gold went down and vice versa. In general, gold has been super, super strong. I think it's producing more profits this year than S&Ps. As of a few days ago, I think gold was up 21% on the year, and S&Ps were up 19, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's what I was preparing my other webinar. Those are the numbers. So gold's been strong again. A lot of physical buying going on by central banks as they're trying to secure and protect themselves against inflation. So a lot of physical. China, other countries, central banks are buying a lot of gold also. Some uncertainty on the market is causing also inflow of the money into gold. And of course, sometimes it goes the opposite of US dollar. Take a look, US dollar after this sell-off today, we're having a very strong day in US dollar. And of course, the gold in this case is moving the other direction. Let me see if I can take a screenshot for you of the 10-year yields. So I'll show you what I mean by saying that. The 10-year yields are very influential when it comes to dollar. As they go higher, dollar go higher. As they go lower, the opposite. They go in the opposite direction with gold. Strong yields equals weak gold, and also the yields are affecting the markets as well, the equity markets. I'm going to try to take a screenshot now. Okay, here we go. So here's 10-year yields. Let's just use it against the gold to see if there's a correlation. As I mentioned, normally there is. Okay, so this is gold. Sorry. Okay, here we go. You can find, by the way, the quotes on 10-year yields. You can Google them, find who provides the quotes. Take a look. This is the chart, current chart, daily chart on 10-year yields. See how the gold is going higher, yields going lower. We are at the bottom here, right? Trying to hold the support. The same thing, gold is holding the resistance. Today, the yields going higher, the gold's going lower. So it's important. I know some gold traders, serious gold traders, paying attention to this as well. Also, the currency traders, as it affects the dollar. Take a look. Let's bring now the dollar index, and there's a very strong correlation here. Take a look. Right, we went down. Dollar actually was weaker here, but today we are moving higher and the dollar is moving higher. It's not one-to-one correlation that you can calculate things, but directional correlation, it is there. Okay, great. So I hope it works. Again, this is 10-year yields. Okay, you can just Google it and see where you can find the quotes and charts and try to analyze it. It helps. Okay. That's as far as gold. Even thank you for questions. Guys, we are slowing down here. Again, I don't like to beg for questions, but I have no choice because I don't like to close the webinar either. So we need some questions. We do have a nice audience here, some new people. Don't be shy. If you're new here, it doesn't mean that there's any kind of priority. You ask questions that you think you want to be asking. Nvidia, good question. Good question on Nvidia. Nvidia is about to report very soon. Today, after the market, they have an earning report and the earning call. There are a lot of pressure on them. Market is selling into it, and, which reminds me, I think last earnings were similar situation, the one before. The market was selling a day before, on the day of the earnings, and then the earnings came great, and Nvidia pulled up or pushed up the whole market. I'm not saying it's going to happen today, but at the same time, it might and it could happen. So some brokers and analysts are setting up the price of $144 for Nvidia. There's some numbers there. There was an article on Bloomberg about it. So there's a lot of expectations, some positive expectation. At the same time, a lot of pressure there. So and there's always a question: did the market already price in the upcoming earnings or not? You see, Nvidia for almost 2 weeks has been sitting here in a tight range of $4. We're still below the previous two highs, right? So at the same time, the Nasdaq also didn't confirm the high as well. So we're not going to guess and make up anything. We're just going to hear what they have to say. And we'll see the reaction first of all of Nvidia, and then we'll see the general reaction. Of course, Nvidia will be affecting both Nasdaq and S&P 500. Dow Jones probably will be affected as well, but the strongest effect, of course, it will have on the Nasdaq index. Again, after the market today, it is reporting. So I mentioned 144. So after the split, the high was here 140.61. So the target price, I don't remember which broker was it, one of the big ones. The analyst there set up 144 profit target, and it's a little bit higher than the current price. Not the current, a little higher than the all-time high of the price. Okay, good question. Guys, let's do more. Again, remember about people that are going to be watching this on YouTube, and then be very thankful to you. So you have a great opportunity to help them by asking questions, and of course help yourself and help me. So we go Okay, I think I found. I'm going to take a screenshot of that article while I'm waiting. I'm not just passively waiting. I'm just trying to give you as much as I can here. So take a screenshot here. I'll read it to you now. So here's the part of the article by To Kim from Barron's. So he's writing here. This is the bottom of the article. On Sunday, Morgan Stanley analyst Joe Moore reiterated his overweight rating and 144 price target of Nvidia shares. And he quotes here, Nvidia stock has largely shrugged off concerns about potential Blackwell delays. Correctly so, in our view, as near-term business is strong, he wrote. Nvidia stock is up 152% this year, compared with the 17% of the S&P 500. Right. And we have another question. Thank you for participating. Dorit, what is your view on Tesla? Please write your view as well. And my view is very simple. I take one day at a time. And Tesla has been having a lot of stories. And the whole story of Tesla on the downside all started when when Musk started the process of buying the Twitter. So there was not such positive thing among the investors, and other things happened as well. Now, a magic number for Tesla, it's 200. It's been playing around that number a lot. Sorry for all this mess here. The lines, I don't know why it's so messy, but Tesla recently in July 7th, this is weekly chart, the week of July, let's move to daily. So let's see. We had a nice move over here, right? And again, I said I'll share with you any fundamentals that I know. So few things. The move up was when they deliver better than expected number of cars. Then we went down when the earnings were not so good. Some are very pessimistic about it. Some are optimistic. I think October will be very good test for Tesla, as they're really betting on the robotaxi. And I think October, I don't remember the date, they have a presentation of a robotaxi. Also, the latest thing I read about Tesla about a week ago, so the Series 1, that the software, the self-driving software has been improved significantly. And I think it was one of the Barron's analysts was actually writing his own opinion about using it. He said that, I'm going to try to quote what he said that the old version was acting like a crazy teenager, and then the newer, it's more as an adult. So also added some positive things to Tesla. As long as we are holding around 200, as you could see, I mentioned that key number, a lot of actions were there. We had resistance here with the run right from 200 to all the way to 64, to 70 almost. And then we're back below, above. So the 200 is a key level. And I guess it's the CEO is a very controversial person. I like him. I like that he has an idea. He's pushing it no matter what. I still remember when Tesla, everybody made fun of the company and the cars, and now they started a few years back trying to play catch up with it. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Again, October, the robotaxi presentation comes, and so on. Technically, the 200 is always a magnet. A lot of things are happening around 200. Take a look. Even 200 moving average is right around there. It's currently at 203. All right. We had also the 50-day moving average crossing above. That was last month. So that could be also technically a bullish sign for some analysts. And let's see what the future brings. Okay, good question, Dory. Thank you. Okay. Even is asking, interesting to hear the question about Nvidia. Every social channel I get invited to ends up talking about Nvidia at some point. Yeah, everybody, everywhere you go, it's Nvidia, Nvidia, Nvidia. So uh, as you know, as I told you, I've been trading for 24 years. I was there when the dot-com actually burst. That's when I came in, and it was easy time trading. You know, we had this saying at that time. Our office only traded Nasdaq stocks, so I came. It was a favorite saying: short everything with 4 letters. So you just come in the morning, you short. We didn't hold any positions overnight. It was a huge office there with, I don't know, maybe 150 traders or more. So just come, you short, you make money. And then, of course, 2007, 2008, there was the bubble of all the instruments to do with mortgages, right? When they package them, you know, Big Short's a great movie. You can learn about the process, what happened there. So you see that, and then other times when you see the market selling, there's always something. So what happened? And now we have AI, golden rush, right? The market went up. I just read to you, Nvidia is up 152% this year, and trading psychology. It's a crowd. You know, as long as the crowd likes it, it goes. But then it becomes sometimes like a pyramid that crashes. You know, I've seen stocks that cost $1,000 or $500, and they went to $1, and they went to be delisted through the history of my trading. I've seen a lot of things. So um, why am I saying this? Nvidia got all the boost with the AI. It's a very serious company. They provide the hardware and the cloud and everything else for everybody and anybody that's involved technically with AI. So they have a high demand for things. The price of some, I mean, they have chips that they cost $30,000 each. So there's a lot, and I think last time I checked, they've been trading around 50 times of their earnings of what the company's valued. Speaking of which, there was an article about Intel, which is a great company, right? They make processors and the hardware. They trade at their book value. When the price hit 1950, 1970, there was an article, I think, a couple of weeks ago, that if Nvidia were to, if Intel were to close the shops and sell all their physical assets, that would be the price of the company. So you compare 1-to-1, and you compare 50-to-1 in Nvidia and other things. All right. So as of now, it's a huge hype. I was going to mention to you, yeah, not to compare it with the high tech, but if you remember when all the stocks to do with cannabis, they went through the roofs, and then they just came right back with where they started, and some got delisted and so on. So it's a cycle, and we're living in it, and we are trading in it. We need to just be cautious. And I respect Warren Buffett. I like when he says that I'm cautious when everybody else is greedy, and I'm greedy when everybody else. No, fear. He used the word fearful. I'm fearful when everybody else is greedy, and I'm greedy when everybody else is fearful. So maybe we can learn from him. Good question, Ivan. A good point. Good sentence. Okay, we are at 30 minutes into the webinar, guys. Do we have more questions? I'll be happy to continue. If we don't have any specific questions, we'll say goodbye till next Wednesday, and I will be happy to see you again next Wednesday. Maybe prepare your questions in advance. It's a very simple process. You just type your question, we'll discuss it, and I'm very happy to do so. All right. Do we have any questions? Dorit is asking, what trading strategy would you recommend for a beginner trader? It's not a webinar for that. You know, we have a beginners webinar that one of my colleagues is doing, the Q&As. You can ask questions there. If you do trade with us and you have account manager, you can talk to them, even though we're not really recommending any strategies, but we're probably happy to explain how things work out. But what I suggest to you as a beginner, try not to injure yourself with losses. That's the best strategy I can recommend in general. Learn the right habits. It doesn't matter what strategy you take. Is it in indicators, price actions, fundamental trading, whatever it is? Please make your priority on securing your funds. Make sure that you understand your risk and you measure your risk. So while you learn, there always be losses. That's fine. I trade every day and I have losses every day, but they have to be proportional to what your account is, and they have to make sense comparing with the profits that you make. But to realize that you need statistics. So as you work your statistic, as you improve your skills, as you boost your confidence and build a little bit of equity, make sure that you protect your money. Okay, because losses, it's not only losing money. You build this psychological. I'm not afraid to say trauma. I'm sure everybody trades here can relate to it at some point. It's very painful to lose money, and then even worse than that, if you come next day trying to make the losses back. You need to focus. And one of my favorite quotes from traders say, you do the right things and the money will follow, and it really works. I already shared a few times here, I think, when I was a prop trader, we used to trade crazy amount of shares. I used to trade in average about 250 shares a day. That's a lot. Company was happy. They made a lot of commission on me. But what I'm trying to say is really you need to focus on the market. So there are days that I totally covered my P&L. I didn't see how much money I was making, and at the end of the day, only I opened it and I was surprised to see it. I had a great day. You're focusing on the goal should be trading the right way, and the right way for you, nobody can tell you. You need to find the right way by trying different ways of trading and testing it how it works for you. All right. I think it's a little long answer to your short question, but I hope it really helps. Yes, Eric, that's true. Warren is now $1 trillion company. They just joined the club. That is correct. And they're sitting on the tons of cash. They closed a lot of trades, including the Apple huge position. They closed partially. They only own much smaller amount than they used to. That is true. Okay, guys, I want to thank you for participating. I'll be happy to see you next week. I wish you a successful journey. Have a good evening, and we'll be back next week. Take care.